What is good?
All the
all the
time.
time.
And all the time.
A lot is good, and that is His nature. Wow.
Dear viewers and listeners of Radio Maria South Sudan, 95.4 FM, a Christian voice in your home. In our studio today, we are hosting the youth of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary Parish, Buluk, for a talk show. In our social media platform of Radio Maria South Sudan, as they will be celebrating their annual Parish Youth Day of San Irenaeus as their patron saint. Tomorrow, Friday 28 at 11 a.m. Welcome, my dear youth, to our studio of Radio Maria South Sudan 95.4 FM.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My name is Grace Opia. I will be your moderator. And at this note, I will start from my right hand. Can you kindly introduce yourself to our viewers in your office?
Okay, thank you. My name is Vune Paul, and I'm the liturgy secretary for the youth office of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary Parish, Buluk. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sister Grace Sophia. I'm called Oniba Tennis Mark Isaac, the youth chairperson of Our Lady of Holy Rosary, whose patron saint is Saint Irenaeus.
Okay, thank you once again, and welcome to our studio. And at this point, I think I would like to ask you, coordinator of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary Parish Youth, to at least take us through the life of Saint Irenaeus, tell us who he is, and what impressed your office so much that you, as the youth of Holy Rosary Parish, have taken Saint Irenaeus as your patron saint.
Thank you so much. When Our Lady of Holy Rosary became a parish, so definitely there is need for the youth office to exist. And now when the youth office is to become existing, they say no, they have to have a patron saint. And we formed committee to look at this, to look at who's among the saint to be our patron saint. Now the committee came out with this name of Saint Irenaeus. And it inspired us so much in Holy Rosary, and because Saint Irenaeus, let's first try to look about Irenaeus facts, about this interesting fact about Saint Irenaeus. At first, he defended Christianity from the influential heresy known as Gnosticism. He wrote about the earlier Christian church having four gospels that were distinct from the counterfeit Gnostic gospel. He was missionary to the Gaul before becoming the Bishop of Lyon. He learned the language of the Celtic and Germanic tribe to evangelize them. Saint Irenaeus is considered as an earlier father of Martyrology. Now, I want to go briefly about who is this Saint Irenaeus so that our listeners or the viewers will also know. Saint Irenaeus is known as Irenaeus of Lyon, was a Greek bishop who played a crucial role in guiding and expanding Christian community in the southern regions of the present day called French. Born around 130 AD in Turkey, he had a direct connection to the apostle through Polycarp, who had had a John the Apostolist. As a bishop of Lugdunum, modern day Lyon, Irenaeus combated heretical interpretations of scripture, particularly Gnosticism, by emphasizing the authority of the scripture, apostolic traditions, and the teachings of apostles' successors. In notable work against heresies. refuted the agenistic doctrine. Irenaeus regarded all four a canonical gospel as essential, making him the earliest surviving witness to this view. So when we look at Saint Irenaeus, he defended our faith. He stand firm to defend our faith, and he stood firm to the errors that some intellectuals feel that they can change the doctrine of the Bible. So Irenaeus stood firm to correct those errors. And there is one quote that we like from Saint Irenaeus, that for the glory of God is a man fully alive. So this is the greatest quote for us in the Holy Rosary Parish, and we felt this is really inspiring us. And now, as in recent, of course, he is from the earlier church traditions, but up to now, Saint Irenaeus stood among the modern saint. And in the year 2022, he was announced to be the doctor of the church, specifically for unity. So we too also wanted to unite Holy Rosary Youth. We need to be united. This is a brief summary about this Irenaeus. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Vunipol, do you have something to add on what the coordinator has said about Saint Irenaeus?
Thank you so much. Actually, whatever he said is a good presentation about Saint Irenaeus. I can only say more about him as being our patron saint. As he has stated earlier, indeed, the saint inspires a lot. For example, that's why we took him to be our role model, like our patron saint. Because in the youth, our youth of Holy Rosary Parish, we yearn for unity. We are kind of a dynamic group who are always trying to be as one. Since the church is one, it calls for universality. So Saint Irenaeus is a great model for us as youth, and indeed we really admire him, and we want to walk in his footsteps so that we too, as youth, can become great people like Saint Irenaeus. That briefly I can add on here.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we could continue with Radio Maria South Sudan, Christian Voice in your home, that is 95.4 FM in Juba. You can also be connected to the other part of the world, the family of Radio Maria worldwide. So those of you who are viewing us at the moment, and you can also send us your messages, you can send us your comments as we continue with the show. For our viewers across the globe, and those questions and comments you can send, and it has to be respectful and according to the teaching of the Catholic Church. So the second thing I wanted also to know from you is just tell us something about the life of the youth of Holy Rosary Parish, their activities, their impact in the church and in the society as well.
Yeah, Holy Rosary Parish is a parish in the heart of Juba city, and it comprises of all the 64 tribes of South Sudan. Has been in the heart of the city Juba. Holy Rosary has a dynamic of all the culture. And let me say, to read through about the youth of Holy Rosary, I wanted to say where this parish is located, and how many youth are now in Holy Rosary currently, and what our missions and what are our objectives as well. So I want to take all the listeners to say that the youth of Holy Rosary Parish is faith-based youth in the Catholic Archdiocese of Juba. The patron saint is Saint Irenaeus, and they celebrated the Pastoral Saint Day on 28th June every year. They are carrying on the ministry of Christ through evangelization, such as Bible sharing, singing, game competition, promoting moral behavior among themselves, and support the growth of the parish. Now, our locations, for those one who doesn't know where Holy Rosary Parish is, We are located along Juba Police Headquarters, Buluk, through Juba Christian Center, JCC, to Juba University. Street name is Haisora. Statistics. The youth of Holy Rosary Parish comprise of 7 centers, namely Tomping Prayer Center. Most of the youth there are Dinkas. And we have also a Christ the King Chapel. Most of the youth are Bari, Kakua, and some of the Ugandan traders who are doing their business around that area. We have St. Charles Luanga. We have First Mass and Second Mass, many of actually and Rotugo. In the many parishes, we have First Mass, Second Mass, Third Mass, and now we have even Fourth Mass. Many of Bari, Didinga, Kakwa, Lopit, Pojulu, more or less like all the tribes of South Sudan are praying there, and also the youth constitute. Also, the youth come from all these tribes of South Sudan. That make our statistics around 500, roughly, youth of the parish, both female and male. Now, our mission as a youth of the church, to unite youth together, to make them to realize the importance of one another, to have a positive impact on themselves and also to the parish. Of course, they will also definitely infect the society they come from. We have our aims and objectives, why we wanted to be the youth of the church. We want to be the youth of the church to reduce the concept of the arrogances of our youth in our society, because many people say South Sudan youth are arrogant. So to be in the church, we are reducing this myth of people saying that we are arrogant. We need to work on it and reduce it, to boost our moral behavior as well, to bring Jesus Christ close to our daily life, and to promote the spirit of oneness, and to promote alms giving to the needy. These are our objectives. Okay, who is the youth in the church, and what is their roles in the church today? Or who are we as a youth in the Holy Rosary Parish, and what is our role? You see, when you look at the religious and ancestral components of many people's life, and church are important gathering place for peoples of all ages. Although the youth are an important part of the Christ body, they are often left out of conversations and programs in most churches. But now, we say youth is a transitional stage of childhood to adulthood. And many people give an age limit for the youth. Others saying from 15 to 24, others say from 18 to 34, others saying from 18 to 45. It depends on the culture and the tribe, and because it is not yet in our country realized globally the age limit for the youth. Now, as the church instilled a positive value in the youth, it helped them grow in the relationship with the Lord and prepare them to serve Christ and society. They are greatly to benefit from this church, and from the church they will also benefit the community they come from. Now let us look at this role one by one. We are bringing members to church through evangelizations like sharing, Bible sharing, like rosary praying, like even singing. These are all inspiring things the youth are doing in the church of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary Parish. And with this, I assure that with all these activities we are doing to like evangelizing the gospel of God, we have tried to inspire some other youth, and they have already joined our group. Now we have newcomers in our youth group, like 25 of them have recently joined our group, and we are happy for that. And with these years of Eucharistic Congress as well, we are also trying to evangelize Christ and trying to insert in the heart of the youth that Christ really exists. And we have a unique behavior. When you look at the youth of the church compared to the youth outside, they have distinctions of their behavior. And I can really say this with my head high, because when you look at me and you look at the youth outside, we have different moral behavior. And the word we speak, the way we interact also differs, which means Christ is really impacting our life. We are bringing fresh, progressive idea to the church. Yes, a lot of progressive ideas that we are bringing to the church, like evangelizing through using our media, social media, even making this one. What do you call it, Vone? The paper we worked on it. There is a paper we worked on it. We call it, is it Monitor or newspaper? Yes, some sort of newspaper that has pictures of Jesus with everything. Those are all things when we send it out. Those are new ideas we are bringing to the church, and we are the caregiver to the needy members in the society. Last 2 months in April before Easter, we came to Musesfa Al Sabah to give needy to the children there who are really, really minorities and sick on their bed. So that is also what we did in the church. And of course, we are the caretakers of the church assets and the property, because we need to defend our church from like losing the properties of church and like a lot of things. So with the youth, we feel like we can protect and the assets of the church, so that we can be able to pass it to generation to also come to use the same assets. We are the voices of the church and even to the community as well, because as I talk of the moral behavior the church, the youth of the church has, it is so, when now I went to speak to the community with the having Christ in me, then I think my language outside there is really noble, and the societies there can take me quickly and understand it, because the voice I speak, it's mix of the voice of Christ and the Holy Spirit. So these are some of the few things we have been doing. I don't want to go to other things, because my brother Vone is also here. He can give some of the other things. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Maybe I will pick from the activities that we do as youth of Our Lady of Holy Rosary. Indeed, in our parish, the youth, we do quite a number of activities, which he talked some of them. I can give, for example, the new idea, something unique, which we have done recently. It deals with the rotational choir practice, because we felt the need that in our parish, we should share the burden together. Unlike in the previous years, where only practice can be done only centered in the same place, maybe for example at the main center, that deprives our fellow brothers, for example, who come from long distance places. So this time around, we decided that we go at least every week. We do it in the different chapels, so that we bring the practice closer to the out to our fellow youth, and this indeed has yielded great fruits, which has brought in their participation. We also have spiritual film shows. This one we did during the lengthened period, where every Wednesday we show film shows about the life of Jesus, and we also have other activities where we show films, especially spiritual films and educative kind of film. We still have it in plan. Others we want to educate our youth basically on the things to do in society, how to behave. Those are the kind of activities we do. We also do evangelization, as you talked of, for example, charity work, those kind of things. We do Bible sharing, although not to extent to a kind of extensive, but it's also part in our plan, the Bible sharing, and we hope by the end of the year it will be fully achieved. We also conducted youth conference. Youth conference like bringing all the youth together to share ideas and to bring new kind of ideas to be able to make us grow fully into Christ. This one, we did it this year, and it was really marvelous. I can say the turn-up was good and the participation was good, and Christ was proclaimed to the youth, which was one of our major activities, major aim this year. We also distributed rosaries and Bibles. Last week, we had a football tournament as one of our sports activities. During the sports activity, basically football, we distributed rosaries and Bibles to show that this is for evangelization, because youth, mainly in our diocese, they lack that spiritual kind of attachment to God. But when it comes to adulthood, youth are really active. But we want to boost. We know it is there, but it is not to a greater extent. But for us in our parish, we say that this year we really want to bring the spirituality of our youth. We want to develop them to love Christ more and more in activities that they do. That's why whatever we do, it is basically centering on a kind of spiritual liturgy and other activities. We really do a lot.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to ask you a bit, in the activities that you run to the youth in the parish of Our Lady of Holy Rosary. So you talk of, you carry out charitable activities that Mr. Coordinator have said, you have visit El Sabah Hospital. So can I know, where are you normally getting the funds? How do you do it?
Thank you. I think I need to chip in the funding because when we had this plan, since that we did it during Lenten season before the celebration of Easter, and that period of Lent is almsgiving period. We talked to our parish priest, through our chaplain, and through our parish council. They approve for us because every collections of Good Friday, it has to go for charity work. Because the youth come up with the initiative, they say the collection has to go to the youth office to do the charity work. So the parish help to support us greatly in doing that. So we do collections every Friday from the Way of the Cross, and it will help us to do, and from also other ways as contributions. So we get the contributions from there.
Okay, thank you. I know dealing with the youth, as you have stated, around from 18 years up to 25, from 25 up to 35 is not something easy. So I wanted to know, do you have any challenges?
Yeah, we have a lot of challenges as a youth. There are some challenges for the youth which I wanted to point out is a really general one, and my brother Vone can point for us at our parish level. So we have a lot of challenges, and we wanted to give some of the solutions to our youth. The challenges I'm having here, it is really impacting the youth of this age as you ask. Discrimination based on gender, race, culture, background, colorisms, and so on. We are facing these challenges. This is a kind of discriminations based on gender, on culture, and other things. We think that these are kind of challenges. You may say, you do not belong to this, you are, even when did you come, a lot of things. Those are the times you see youth will feel that as if there are discriminations among themselves. So we also sort out some few maybe solutions that the church leader should preach unity, as in Irenaeus did. Great program to make the youth interact without biasness and discourage adults from instilling some discrimination ideas in the young people. We are all one. So this kind of saying you do not belong here, or no, it should not be within the church. It doesn't help. The youth, when you look at the youth, our youth have some mental health depressions. You know, as a youth, we are victims of every circumstances now. And we are the most of the people who are this one targeted, either by the rich who are doing the rituals, by the social media, you know, this kind of human trafficking also. They use youth to do this, and you find youth are really now getting depressed. How are they coping up with this kind of life? This one, I'm looking at the general sense of what is happening outside with the youth. So I'm looking at that, and there are some few of the solutions we sought among ourselves, the church leaders and parents or guardians should create group and individual therapy sessions to help young people overcome issues that depress them and affect their mental health. This is what we also hope. And we also say they can also offer financials and other forms of support to shoulder the burden these young people are facing. Because you may get a youth who is very big and graduates with a very good residential paper, but having no work. This kind of thing gives depression to the youth. So we like this kind of things to also happen. Gender identity crisis. Youth also facing these problems of gender identification crisis. There are some youth outside there, they pretend to be ladies. There are some youth there, they are male, they pretend. These are general I'm talking about, but I think it should never come to my parish or to the Archdiocese of Juba.
It's exactly what I'm planning to ask you.
Yes.
Did you have one in your
No, we don't have it, but we are focusing due to the technology of this recent advancement in technology and the way now we left every people to decide things on themselves. So we are really opting also to that, and it is also a challenge to some youth. I'm looking to that so seriously. Addiction to harmful substances. These kinds of getting drug, taking drugs, saying to relieve stress, taking like alcohol to relieve stress, as they say, it will not help as a youth. It happened among our youth in the Holy Rosary particular, and I'm really standing firm so that this kind of educations we are saying, watching educative films, it is part of this kind of program. So to enlighten them, to see the visions very far, and to realize their value. It's not only you can relieve your stress because of taking maybe nicotine, marijuana, these kinds of toxic substances. No. So we also suggest now the church should cooperate with the medical professional, therapists, life coaching, rehabilitation centers to help these young people overcome addictions that we're building their futures. We are hoping these are the few challenges we're also giving, and there are many. There are many those challenges, but I want to stop here. My Vonic can give the one we are facing practical in the church.
Thank you, Chairman. Challenges indeed are there among our youths, as stated by the chairperson. For example, we have limited funds to conduct our activities. It's one of our major challenges. When you see mostly our youth, we have the section of those who are working and the section of those who are not working. And normally when it comes to carrying out activities, we really have challenges where you want to do this, but you lack the resources needed, especially funds, to conduct those activities. It's really a great challenge for us. We also call for those who can help our youth. It will really be appreciated. We also have a lack of office equipment and equipment needed in our office, and also to help the youth. For example, when it comes to singing, we lack the keyboard. We also lack other basic things that is needed. So those are the kind of challenges we face, and it is really hindering our activities, which makes it hard for us to conduct some of our activities. Then we have unemployment among our youths. When you see in our parish, most of our youth, I can proudly say, they are educated. They went to school and they're still going to school. We have them there, but we're trying to look for something that can engage our youth to be able to be self-reliant. I know it's a major issue because when you see currently in our country, employment has become kind of a big issue, majorly among the youth. So it's also affecting us, but we hope we will achieve this when we create something, and if Lucius can also do, it will really be great for us. So those are the few challenges, but there are very many. Of course, challenges are always there. There are quite many, but for the due time, I will only list these ones. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The last thing I wanted to ask is 2024 has been the year of Eucharistic Congress. Eucharistic Congress in the diocesan level and in our country, the Republic of South Sudan and Sudan. So, in a special way, I wanted to ask you, Coordinator, Mr. Coordinator, what is the importance of Eucharistic Congress in the life of youth, and particular the youth that you are heading in Our Lady of the Holy Rosary Parish?
Thank you so much. I wish my brother Bonnie start talking about the Eucharistic conquest as a liturgy. Then I will add on it.
Yes. Welcome, Mr. Paul.
Okay, thank you. Indeed, this year in the Catholic Church in Sudan and South Sudan, it has been declared the year of Eucharistic Congress, which started last year around during the solemnity of Christ the King, which was started in Wow. And this year it will end here in Juba, or again on the feast of on the solemnity of Christ the King. Indeed, the Eucharistic Congress, that has been defined as the assemblies of Catholic faithful convoked and gathered to manifest and foster greater devotion to the Lord who is present in the Eucharist. We as part and partial, we as youth, we are part and partial of this Eucharistic Congress. The national body has come with a kind of programs that will engage youth. We were given the copy by our parish Eucharistic Congress Committee. It deals a lot. That's why when we talk this year, we are celebrating our parish feast youth day at the same time also the parish youth Eucharistic Congress, because when you see the Eucharistic Congress is kind of uniting people under a theme which was drawn: one body, one spirit in Christ. And this goes to the ideal topic, or the ideal motto of our patron saint, Saint Irenaeus, who works for unity. Because the Eucharist is all about being united in one body into Christ as the source and summit of our Christian life. So for us, youth of our Holy Rosary, the Eucharistic Congress is important because it unites us. It teaches us a lot to come together. And this is what we have been struggling for. What we are trying to do from the beginning of the year, so that we walk into this kind of aspect, so that we be fully participating in it. Recently, when it was launched in our parish on the face of the body and blood of Christ, the youth actively participated in it, because it was calling for all of us to be partial of that activity. So we participated by singing and moving around with the Blessed Sacrament, and every kind of activity, even the recollections are being done every week in our parish, thanks to our parish priest and the parish Eucharistic committee who have came up with that initiative. And indeed, our youth are being actively participating in those kind of recollections, which reflects on the Eucharist, and indeed it is impacting us a lot. And as you can see, we are now more united, I can say, as youth of Holy Rosary, and we thank the Lord for this year of Eucharistic Congress.
So, can I know how many youth are receiving Holy Communion?
Oh, there are quite many. Our youth are indeed receiving Holy Communion, quite a number. And actually, to mention, tomorrow we also have a set of children. That's why we are celebrating our youth there, and children also, those also have been preparing to receive the Holy Communion. They will hopefully receive even tomorrow during our feast day, in order so that, because we said this, our celebration is the parish youth day, and at the same time the parish youth Eucharistic Congress kind of celebration. So they will also be part of it, and very many youth are serving, including me.
That's very wonderful. Mr. Coordinator, do you have something to add?
Yes, on Eucharistic Congress, or body and blood of Christ. Of course, our Holy Father is trying to call everyone to come close to Jesus. And this is exactly what we in Holy Rosary Parish as a youth, the approaches we have drawn to come out with. How can youth who are not receiving Holy Communion or how can youth who are not baptized will come to Jesus Christ? The first thing is, since we have in our plan of action as a youth Bible sharing, we are reinforcing on this Bible sharing so importantly, so that the word of Christ dwells in the heart of each and every one youth, so that they understand the importance of Christ in their life. And another thing to approach this Eucharistic for us as a youth is we are also asking youth who are married but not matrimonialized. We are requesting and trying to create awareness, let them come to receive the sacrament of matrimony. This is also what we are doing, and we also encourage, we empower, we are empowering, since we are the parish of Our Lady of Holy Rosary Parish. We are empowering now. We're putting much effort on Rosary prayer. This is also bringing people close to God, because Eucharist is all about bringing people close to God. This is what I wanted to add a little bit on what my brother has put across.
Yeah, with this, I think, as I have stated from the beginning, as we discuss, we have some viewers who are viewing us across the globe through the channel of Radio Maria social media platform. So do you have any messages to give them? Tomorrow is the feast of Saint Irenaeus. Do you have any message? I think I will start with you, Mr. Chairman, the coordinator, and then...
Yes, I have message to the parents of this youth. I say